Lights, camera, action. These words spoken by Indian filmmakers have a global echo. Hello and welcome to Connecting the Dots. I'm Unman Bhattacharya. Let's connect the dots of Indian cinema's growing international appeal. It is that time of the year again. The Cannes Film Festival is back in its newest edition. The festival has two main attractions, world cinema and the glitz and glamour on the red carpet. So where does India figure? Well, from its inception, the Cannes Film Festival has had a deep bond with Indian cinema. In 1946, the year when the festival was founded, Chetan Anand's Neecha Nagar won the prestigious Grand Prix or the Best Film Award. So India was at the forefront of the festival at the very start. Then in 1956, Satyajit Ray's Pather Panchali won the Best Human Document Award. Later, in 2022, on his birth centenary, the festival paid a tribute to him with a retrospective of his films. And over the years, Indian filmmakers have consistently showcased innovation and diversity on the French Riviera. Take, for instance, Mrinal Sen's Courage, which won the Special Jury Prize in 1983, or Meera Nair's Salaam Bombay, which was awarded the Camera d'Or or the Golden Camera Award in 1988, or Shaji and Karun's Piravi, which received the Camera d'Or Special Mention in 1989, or Murli Nair's Marana Simhasanam, meaning the Throne of Death, that added to India's success at Cannes in 1999. From Ritesh Batra's The Lunch Box to Sanjay Leela Bansali's Devdas, Indian films have set India apart from its global contemporaries. Screenings of R. Madhavan's Rocketry, The Nambi Effect and Ashutosh Gowarekar's epic Lagan cultivated a deeper appreciation of Indian cinema's diversity in filmmaking. But India's legacy at Cannes extends beyond individual triumphs. The 66th and 75th editions of the festival coincided with monumental milestones in the nation's cultural and historical journey. At the 66th edition in 2013, 100 years of Indian cinema were commemorated. India was the official guest country. This reinforced its soft power and influence on Cannes. The Shahenshah of Hindi cinema, Amitabh Bachchan, and his The Great Gatsby co-star, Leonardo DiCaprio, declared the official kickoff of the 66th edition. Bachchan, addressing the global audience in his mother tongue Hindi, was a proud moment indeed. In 2022, India celebrated 75 years of diplomatic ties with France. This coincided with the 75th anniversary of the Cannes Film Festival. India was felicitated as the country of honor at the Marché du Film or the Cannes Film Market. That was when Prime Minister Narendra Modi reinforced India's potential to become a global content hub. The Indian Pavilion at Cannes, now in its new avatar as Bharat Pavilion, has been a symbol of the country's evolving film industry. It has become one of the hubs of the festival where stakeholders discuss and debate the Indian filmmaking landscape. Interestingly, the International Film Festival of India, or IFFI, has had a deep connect with Indian films, vying for international acclaim.
Whether a springboard for Indian films or a launchpad for Oscar contenders, both IFFI and Cannes have established a rare jugalbandi in weaving together the best of cinema across the world. Several films that have been screened at IFFI have gone on to win the Oscars over the years. Some of the prominent ones being American Beauty in 1999, Life is Beautiful in 1997, Life of Pi in 2012, Parasite in 2019, and The Power of the Dog in 2021. More importantly, notable films have been presented at IFFI from Cannes as a special package over the years.
The Indian film fraternity has also been a part of the esteemed Cannes jury, enriching the prestigious event with their expertise. Filmmaker Mrinal Sen paved the way in 1982. Renowned directors like Meera Nair and Shekhar Kapoor offered unique perspectives, while actors Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Sharmila Tagore, Vidya Balan and most recently Deepika Padukone contributed to the selection of top international films at the 75th edition. And now, the latest edition is seeing Indian cinema in the reckoning after a long time. Filmmaker Payal Kapadia's All We Imagine Is Light is competing for the Best Film Award. It's called the Palme d'Or for decades now. An Indian film featuring in the prestigious In Competition section is a first in 30 years. Swaham was the last to compete in 1994. The restored version of Shyam Benegal's National Film Award winning Manthan has been chosen for the official red carpet world premiere. It will be screened under the Cannes Classic section. British-Indian filmmaker Sandhya Suri's debut feature film, Santosh, will be screened under the Uncertain Regards section. Sister Midnight by Indian director Karan Kandhari will be shown in Director's Fortnight. Indian director Maisam Ali's In Retreat will have its world premiere in Association for the Diffusion of Independent Cinema. That's a parallel independent sidebar in Cannes, but it will be the first Indian film to play there. Bulgarian director Konstantin Bojanov's romantic drama The Shameless with Indian and Nepali cast is to be screened under Uncertain Regard. Sunflowers were first ones to know by Chetan Nayak, a student of the Film and Television Institute of India, has been chosen for the Larsen-F competitive section. In the final analysis, it is India's soft power that continues to make waves both in the French Riviera or at the Dolby Theatre in Los Angeles, where the Oscars are unveiled. India's cinematic excellence is making its presence felt at other international film festivals too, in Venice, Berlin, Toronto, Tashkent, Semensi and Annecy. So the azure blue waters, red carpets and memorable premieres are beckoning again. Get ready for some heart-stealing moments from the tapestry of Indian cinema as India sets out to unleash its magic at Cannes once again. All is not well for UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. Sunak is facing a major crisis after the local election results delivered a devastating blow to the ruling Conservative Party. The party lost control of 10 councils and over 470 council seats. Losses for the Conservatives proved to be the main opposition Labour Party's gain. The Labour Party gained 186 seats while the Liberal Democrats grabbed 104. Labour's Sadiq Khan was re-elected as London's mayor for a third term, dealing a further humiliation to the Conservatives. The election results have sparked fresh calls for Prime Minister Sunak to call a national election sooner than scheduled. However, Rishi Sunak is doubling down on his policy agenda and preparing to take the opposition to task. Listen to what the British Prime Minister has to say.
Well, obviously disappointing to lose Conservative councillors. Look, for my part, reflecting on it, I'm determined more than ever to demonstrate to the country that we are making progress on the areas that matter to them and we are going to deliver for them.
But Sunak is not out of the woods yet. He warns that the next general election could throw up a hung parliament and a Labour-led coalition of chaos. But remember, the coalition of chaos attack line is one of the Tories' most successful political strategies in the past decade. It helped them secure a surprise majority in the 2015 election. But there is no denying that odds are stacked against Rishi Sunak. Liberal Democrats are considering submitting a parliamentary motion of no confidence in Sunak's government to try to force a June general election. However, such a motion is likely to fail due to the Conservatives' majority in Parliament. Despite this electoral setback, Sunak's critics within his party are not eager to replace him. Instead, they're calling on him to shift the party's stance further to the right. The party's right wing, led by former Home Secretary Suella Braverman, is demanding tougher stance on issues like immigration. Sunak's government wants to send asylum seekers back to Rwanda. That policy aims to address the influx of immigrants crossing the English Channel in small boats. The local elections are seen as a crucial test before the looming UK general election. Conservatives' electoral coalition appears to have weakened significantly. Labour, on the other hand, is looking strong. They have secured control of councils they hadn't held for decades. They are making significant gains in areas that voted for Brexit and supported Boris Johnson. Experts say Labour leader Keir Starmer's centrist approach has been successful in attracting voters. So will Sunak be able to turn things around? Or will Labour take the reins? The next few months will be crucial in determining the future of British politics. When you think about safe investment, what options come to your mind? Real estate? Gold? Even the real estate sector sometimes becomes turbulent. So in that case, gold is often considered the safest investment. And China probably has taken this more seriously. Yes, China is buying gold like never before. Losing faith in traditional investments like stocks and real estate, Chinese consumers are turning to gold. And this has pushed gold prices to a record high. There is a nearly 50% increase since late 2022. That means in 1.5 years, gold prices have risen 50%. What you are seeing on your screens are gold beans. These are favorite among Gen Zs in China. These gold beans weigh 1 gram. Chinese youngsters find it a handy option for investment. Besides consumers, the major buyer of gold in China is the country's central bank. The People's Bank of China has been adding its gold reserves for 17 months straight. In fact, last year the bank bought more gold than any other central bank in the world. It added more reserves than it had in nearly 50 years. But why is China buying so much gold? Beijing wants to diversify its reserve funds and reduce its dependence on the US dollar. In the past, when China increased its gold holdings, it bought it using its home currency yuan. But this time, China's central bank is using foreign currencies to buy gold. In fact, many countries, including China, started buying more gold after the US imposed sanctions on Russia. These sanctions, triggered by the Russia-Ukraine conflict, included freezing Russian reserve dollars and restricting crucial commodity trades such as crude oil. Limitations placed on Russia's reserve access by Western financial entities eroded confidence in these institutions. So central banks worldwide started viewing gold as a strategic asset for diversification and risk management. Even with all this buying, gold still makes up a small portion, around 4.6% of China's reserves. Interestingly, India keeps a much bigger share of its reserves in gold, almost double what China has. USA has the highest gold reserves, followed by Germany, Italy, France, and Russia. But China is on an aggressive buying spree. This surge in gold buying by both Chinese consumers and its central bank has caught the eye of speculators in Shanghai. They are betting that the gold buying trend will keep going, pushing prices even higher. Stocking up of gold by central banks has benefits such as diversification of reserve funds, hedging against economic tumult or inflation by investing into this safe haven asset, and reducing dependence on the US dollar. For China, there are clear strategic advantages too of diversifying out of US assets, given the rising geopolitical tensions over Taiwan and Beijing's growing assertiveness in the South China Sea. So the switch to gold has helped China build up a war chest, safe from American sanctions. Russia has already taken this step, and others may follow. What's more, China's gold buying spree could be the straw that breaks the dollar's back. For decades, we've been hearing predictions on the imminent demise of US dollar's special status as the world's international reserve currency. The gold rush in emerging economies like China could give further momentum to this race to de-dollarization. The US dollar, the world's reserve currency, could eventually be knocked off its top spot. It seems to be a question of when, not if. Imagine a life where the vast blue ocean that stretches before you isn't a source of hope, but a desperate gamble. This is the reality for many in Senegal, the westernmost country in Africa. The colorful fishing boat you see is the lifeline for villagers in coastal Senegal. Once vibrant fishing villages now struggle with empty nets and dwindling dreams. Now, to escape deep poverty, migrants from West Africa are risking their lives to earn a living. Meet Birain Mbai, a fisherman forced to make an impossible choice: stay home and watch his family starve, or risk everything on a perilous journey across the Atlantic. In July 2023, Birain joined over 100 men and boys crammed onto a small boat, chasing a glimmer of hope on the horizon. The Canary Islands in Spain, a ticket to Europe.
We all thought that upon arrival, we would all find work where we could flourish. I especially wanted to find something to help my parents and my wife. And we all had the same dream, regardless of the job. Even in the boat, we talked about it.
For the first few days, hope fueled their spirits. But this dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Days turned to weeks and the journey became hard. The unforgiving ocean battered their vessel. Then one day, the engine stopped and the boat ran out of fuel. They were stuck in the middle of the giant ocean. Lost at sea, they were so thirsty that they resorted to drinking seawater, but it did not help. The salt water dehydrated them even more. One by one, people started to die. Disposing of the bodies became a daily trial for those still alive.
It's not easy. But what can we do? If someone dies and we leave them at sea, we could also die from illness. We didn't really have a choice. We had to control our emotions to throw them into the sea. It was God's will.
Birain remembers how he helped to drop his childhood friend's body over the side of the boat and let it sink into the depth. He took his friend's silver ring as a keepsake. Many couldn't take it anymore and jumped into the sea in a desperate attempt to swim to the shore, but they disappeared on the horizon. 35 days passed. 63 people were either dead or missing. Then came the 36th day, August 15th. A Spanish fishing vessel spotted the boat about 140 nautical miles northeast of Sal Island in the Cape Verde archipelago. It was like salvation for the 38 migrants on board the boat who survived. 7 bodies were recovered and 56 people were reported missing and were presumed dead. Birain is now back to his fishing boat, but he's battling with kidney disease and the painful flashback. Even after this ordeal, Birain says he would risk it all again. This story isn't just about one man. It's about countless others driven to such desperation by a harsh reality. Reports say years of overfishing by large industrial vessels from Europe, China and Russia have left Senegalese waters barren, pushing people to make unthinkable choices. According to reports, over 39,000 people reached the Canary Islands from West Africa in 2023. That was an all-time high. And most of them are from Senegal or neighboring Gambia. Senegal, once a stable democracy in West Africa, faced violent protests last year. People leaving the country blamed President Macky Sall for their struggles. They accused his government of selling their waters to foreign companies. In April 2024, Bassirou Diomaye Faye took over as Senegal's youngest president, ousting Macky Sall's 12-year rule. The future of Senegal hangs in the balance. Will they find a way to turn the tide, or will these perilous journeys become the only escape? The question remains. Well, that's all in this edition of Connecting the Dots. We'll see you next week with more raging issues that touch our lives and imagination. Goodbye for now from all of us in the Delhi newsroom. Take care, stay safe. This is Munnan Bhattacharya signing off.